Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back, everybody, to Sunday evening with CowTech. I'm your host for this weekend, Stephen Hidalgo, also known as RC Steve here on the social media platforms. How's everybody doing tonight? And welcome back, guys. We're in for another CowTech episode, this time, episode number 3. You guys already know we have a bunch of Cow RC products on the table, and this time we're actually going to dive in and start getting building, showing you a couple of examples how I set up some micro axles, as well as talk about some of the products that I use as well. Shout out what you guys are up to tonight, and how was your weekend overall? What is up? Rob, how's everybody doing tonight? Mr. Ghost in the house. Let's go, Heath. Trail crawlers, what is up, brother? Nick B, evening, guys. Yes, glad you guys could make it. You guys are tuning in from YouTube. Definitely hit the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing, as well as Facebook. And we are not live on Instagram, but if you guys happen to catch this live stream, definitely tune in where you're watching from. We have let's go ahead and dive in over on the CowRC website, guys. I'm going to go ahead and bring that onto the stage. So the CowRC website, guys, you guys already know plenty of products on there, especially for whatever you guys are going to tackle for your wrenching or your projects. This week, guys, I wanted to show you one of the newer products that's just became available, and I had my chance on getting a good demonstration or good test run with this stainless Basin Ultrasonic Cleaner. Guys, if you haven't checked out the Ultrasonic Cleaner, this one now is the stainless steel version. So it's going to have the stainless steel basin inside the Ultrasonic Cleaner. The previous version did have just like a plastic liner. So those of you guys who are looking to do a little bit more than just cleaning, maybe add your favorite degreaser chemical inside there. You guys will be able to do some heavy duty degreasing with the ultrasonic cleaner. Myself, I know I personally would probably want to use the ultrasonic cleaner for mainly parts and chassis wash mixture, and just dunking in a whole bunch of my chassis parts in there, whether it's a quick overall rebuild or just cleaning parts in general. You'll find me dunking a whole bunch of parts into that basin. I do have the hands-on, a little product right here we can share what you'll get inside the package. So we go ahead and bring it over here to the bigger screen, guys, if you will. All right, so right away when you open up the case, you're gonna have the power supply needed to go ahead and plug that bad boy up. And then you can see the ultrasonic stainless basin. I already went ahead and applied a skins decal, got the Reaper theme going strong over here in the garage. So you can go ahead and apply any of your favorite theme skins to whatever theme is your preference or style. But not only that, the ultrasonic cleaner has a power button as well as a timer button for different settings of time. So ranging from 3 minutes all the way up to 10 minutes, guys, you're going to get however long you need to get that products cleaned. So with the stainless also, when I was talking about degreasing, you could use a whole bunch of this electrical degreaser, electrical cleaner and degreaser inside here, no problem. That'll actually be really handy. Say if you have a whole bunch of differential gears or dirty axle housings with still some grease still stuck on it. So any of the greases or oils, you could run some of this. However, I personally prefer to just stick with applying the degreaser with a towel and just kind of manually clean. So there's different methods to go ahead and apply that degreaser. But if you wanted to go ahead and just dunk it all down in the basin, this new stainless ultrasonic cleaner will take care of that for sure. Building another trail rig and using CowRC. That's awesome, trail crawlers. Let us know what type of trail rig you're building. Nick B. Yeah, I see. What you guys didn't do much, but setting up quick maintenance changes. Yeah, sometimes it's like that during certain weeks. But yeah, guys, check out the stainless basin from the ultrasonic cleaner, guys. I really like that one, and I actually have a quick clip that we can kind of share as well. Let me go ahead and get out of this area. Take this off. And I'm gonna play with for you guys a little 30-second reel how I used the ultrasonic cleaner. So there's a little quick 30-second reel, you guys, from the ultrasonic cleaner with the stainless basin. You guys can see it just dunked literally a whole bunch of dirty, grimy micro axle housings, disassembled and some assembled. The main thing I just want to kind of demonstrate in that video was that using the Moo Clean parts and chassis wash, you're able to make your concentrated mixture. Go ahead and apply it in there. And what's cool about this new stainless basin ultrasonic cleaner, guys, that I really like is that it does operate at a lower frequency versus the older or the previous ultrasonic cleaner that was offered on CowRC. So this essentially just it vibrates and it cleans way better than the previous product. So I'm stoked on it. The results, you guys can see they left a whole bunch of grime left in the tray. You can upgrade this kit, guys. There's these aftermarket printed little reservoir strainers, guys, that you can simply just drop in on the bottom, and with some handy pliers or some sort of lifting mechanism, you're able to lift this whole tray up and collect all the parts without getting a whole bunch of the mixture concentrate all over yourself. And then of course, guys, I did share real briefly that they have a bunch of skins that you guys can choose from. Like I said, my personal theme is the Reaper. So whether you guys are the Patriot, Hot Rod, Green Streak, Dragon, they have plenty of options for you guys to pick. $39.99, guys. Check it out on the website. And who else is loving their ultrasonic cleaner? I see a couple of these comments over here. RC four-wheel drive TF2 kit. That's awesome, trail crawlers. Can't wait to see that one hit the trails pretty soon. Mr. Ghost came in with a pretty handy comment chiming in. The tire wash works well as a degreaser if you use it without diluting it. Good to know, Mr. Ghost, for anybody that's looking to apply, try out a little bit of degreasing action in the ultrasonic cleaner and maybe not wanting to sacrifice all your precious Moo Clean electrical cleaner and degreaser. Pretty good tip right there. Awesome. Plan to get some at one point. Yeah, they're worth it, guys. As well as with all the other products from CowRC. Can't go wrong with any of the products. Yeah. And so you're either stocking up on the electrical cleaner and degreaser or that tire wash for that reason, guys. You guys are hilarious. Yes, I actually have the carbon fiber insert. I just I forgot to show it to you guys. It's put away. So we're definitely recommended so you can just pull it on out, everything out, guys, without getting your hands too messy and splashing all over the workbench or anything like that. So yeah, Kurtz RCs, I'm curious to know what type of cars that you are tearing down all the time. Ultrasonic cleaner is what he needs. He tears down his cars and cleans them all the time. So yeah, that's awesome. And let's go ahead and get this off the screen and dive back into what we got actually here on our screen. So I'm going to go ahead and catch up with what's on our screen. We have a little bit of tiny stuff, guys. but everything's laid out, and we're actually going to show you some of the tips and tricks that I use to assemble this small scale axle. So there will definitely be a little bit of differences in assembling this small scale axle versus the larger 1/10 scale crawlers. Uh, there'll be a couple of different tricks that I will use for these ones. So with that being said, let's actually dive right on in. So guys, with some of those products that you guys saw, the ultrasonic cleaner or the electrical parts and degreaser, this whole axle is disassembled. So there is some oils and grime, utter butter, or maybe some greases in there left over from the ultralight grease, as well as greased up axle shafts, of course, the differential gears and the bearings could essentially get dirty over time as well. So all these parts, we're going to go ahead and clean them pretty quickly. Uh, what I like to use for the smaller scale stuff is just this handy little small mason jar. So I'll simply just throw in the axle shafts, the bearings, and as well as the differential gears, and even probably a little bit of this housing. So what's cool about this Moo Clean electrical cleaner and degreaser, guys, is that it does come out pressure dependent, guys. So based on how much pressure that you want to release, or how much cleaner that you want to spray out. There are tricks to getting proper applications to these when cleaning your parts. One tip that I do recommend when using this electrical cleaner and degreaser is I actually love reaching for the tip applicators, guys, especially when it comes to the smaller scale applications. I usually have the fine tip applicator. So once I apply that, or once I install that onto the tip, I can easily just go ahead and apply the degreaser. Now, when I do my degreaser, I do apply it pretty lightly. So there are a couple ways you can apply this degreaser, guys. I usually just go ahead and lightly press it down with my finger. Sometimes people don't really have the control that it takes to apply it effectively. Maybe it could splash too much or too strong. But another trick that you can use is also with your thumb. Sometimes the thumbs would tend to be stronger than the finger, the index finger. But if you take a couple practices, you can get the gist of applying the cleaner just fine. And with something like this, I'll either kind of shake it around, let it sit in there a little bit, let everything kind of get in there, activate. Axle housings at this small, it is a little bit of a trick to clean these. So one tip that I do recommend, especially if you're going to be cleaning these smaller scale axle housings, go ahead and keep some Q-tips handy. That way, actually, before you do apply this um, electrical cleaner and degreaser, sorry guys, I actually just give it a little bit of cleaning beforehand with a Q-tip. That's going to help me just make everything quicker and easier, and also using less uh, degreaser when sprayed to clean this axle housing. So once you have the housing clean, you can apply it. Now, applying a little bit more pressure could be handy, but just be careful on how you apply it. You don't want to be spraying it everywhere. But once you do have all that sprayed out, uh, you'll definitely have to re-lubricate these parts with the correct products. So before we continue with that, let me see if I missed any of these comments right here. Heath shouting out that we might be working on special something just for the ultrasonic users wanting to degrease plastics and other things. So guys, that's just possibly a little hint to keep an eye out for something maybe coming down the road, especially for you guys that maybe don't have a lot of time and don't want to do all the step-by-step processes, maybe something a little bit easier. Yeah, there you guys have it, a little sneak peek or a little hint at what could be coming down the road from Cow RC, guys. Kurt RCs runs a lot of bashers. He runs them in the dirt, also likes to rip in the street, gets a load of grime and rubber all over the cars. Oh yeah, so I can understand how you're always breaking down and building them up, cleaning them. That's pretty cool. Make sure you use that electrical cleaner and degreaser as well in a ventilated area. Otherwise, you might get lightheaded. Oh, that's a good point, Mr. Ghost. Yeah, great tip, guys. You want to make sure that you're in a ventilated area. Thankfully, I do have a nice draft going on here in this garage. So another important tip, guys. As well, I think you want to avoid getting contact with your skin with this electrical cleaner and degreaser, as it does tend to kind of, how should I say, gives it that cold kind of feeling on that if you get some contact with your skin. So, yeah, what I like to use is definitely this little glass mason jar, keeping the solution all in one spot, and then the carbon series mat, guys, kind of keeps everything nice and clean and tidy. So let's dive back in, guys, to our workbench and proceed. So with that being said, usually I have like a cow rag handy, but while those are kind of in the washer, I'll actually just go ahead and dump out all of the degreaser and kind of check the parts, make sure that these are nice and cleaned up. So you guys will tell that there will be a big difference when it comes to the parts not having their grease. And it is crucial that you do reapply some sort of lubrication to them, because it's important that they still retain the essential oils, the important oils and greases needed. So with these worm gears, guys, go ahead and just give it a quick clean up with the rag. It just makes it a lot easier to get inside those grooves. But you guys can see I hardly had to do anything, and these gears are perfectly clean. As well as the bearings, guys, now that these bearings have penetrated. Here, guys, I do have some metal sealed bearings. So for the guys running like plastic seal bearings, uh, take into consideration that recommended to remove the seals, especially when we're going to lubricate these bearings back up. It's important that the actual lubrication is penetrated in the ball bearings. That way, the bearings have that longevity that they need. So once we're done with the Moo Clean, guys, I simply will start off with the bearings. So I'll go ahead and bring out the Moo Slick Industrial Ultra Thin Oil with PTFE. This PTFE or this ultra thin oil is basically engineered for the RC bearings, guys. It's going to provide that long lasting lubrication, defend against corrosion, and work in a whole wide spectrum of temperature ranges, guys. So how I like to apply this as well is I actually just take the same mason jar. One cool thing about the degreaser is that it does evaporate very quickly, guys. So once I clean that little mason jar, just going ahead and pop these in. And like I said, normally if these were sealed bearings, go ahead and remove those seals on there. But the ultra thin oil with PTFE is thin enough that it can get its way into these metal sealed bearings just as easily. So rubber gloves. Oh, I see. Let me pull up that. Let me pull up this comment right here before we continue. Let's see. So we said that one. Mr. Ghost just ran his sand rail, pre-treated everything, and the dirt just blew off. See? Amazing. I'm curious to see if you use any of the graphite coating, or what type of products did you use, Mr. Ghost? Trail crawlers. Does anyone notice that the moose lick has that fruit scent added? Oh, okay. So moose lick, guys, especially the ultralight, the ultra thin oil, guys, smells amazing. Trail crawlers RC is not wrong on that. If you guys haven't uh, checked out the scent of any of these Cow RC oils or greases, they do smell amazing as well. Rubber gloves when using a degreaser is almost a must. Good tip right there, Mr. Ghost. I will definitely check that out. Pick up some gloves, especially when we're getting deep and dirty with using the degreaser. Adam Ross in the house. What is up, brother? Yes. Okay, let's dive in, guys. So coming back over to the bearings, guys. Same rule applies with all these cans. There are pressure dependent, guys. So based on the pressure that you apply on this will result in the products coming out. So a very light pressure is all it kind of takes, especially for that. Especially it'll kind of get all around everywhere, but just being a light amount, little tiny bit of bearings, guys, a little product definitely goes a long way. I personally end up using the micro, not the fine tip applicators, not little tip applicators. I just use the same one for the cans, guys. You can see that oil is penetrating onto the bearings, and I can just simply put them down here onto the screw catcher mat. Now, while this is kind of penetrating a little bit more, it's a good time and opportunity to get our axle shafts lubricated. So while those are getting nice and penetrated right there, we can see that there's literally no oils, no grease, everything stripped off of these axle shafts, bone dry. And what good product to apply lubrication. You can actually go a couple different ways when it comes to applying a product, a Cow RC product on the axle shafts. My personal go-to, guys, um, I really like the ultralight grease coating from the Moo Slick line. I will be experimenting with the brand new Cow RC ultrafine graphite coating, as this one will promote even more zero drag kind of application to this one. So I will be experimenting this on the axle shafts down the road. But for now, I will show you guys how I do apply the ultralight grease coating onto the axle shafts. Before we dive into all that, let me go back to some comments. Good evening, RCX. How's it going? Mr. Ghost, use the graphite coating on the suspension pins. That's awesome. Yeah, I bet that just became even smoother than ever. Jason Grant, utilizing the carbon series mats are so handy when cleaning the lubricant products from Cow RC. That's a great idea, and that's why another reason I just love the carbon series mat. You can almost do everything on it, guys. You haven't had the chance to check one out, we really truly recommend you checking one out. You guys will be hooked on that carbon series mat. Trying to learn about the kits. I appreciate you, Adam. Yeah, we're gonna be diving in a little bit of tips and tricks on how I set these little guys up. Let's see. Yes, give us some updates next week, Mr. Ghost. Looking forward to hear. For those that don't want to lose oil, they can just drop a little drop over the seal, and the foaming application will suck it right past the seal into the bearing as well. Can make the can last forever. Oh man, that is a great tip, especially when it's coming to bearings, guys. And if you want to have that most bang for your buck, try your little drops, guys. Just like Heath mentioned, to really lengthen that span of the product, guys. Can't beat it. They are small bearings. I think they're like 8 millimeter by 3 millimeter, something like that. Let's dive in. Let's keep it going, guys, with this axle assembly. After this, I've also put some udder butter on the bearings of my crawlers if I run them through water. That's a great tip as well, Mr. Ghost. So not only can you apply some lubricant to like the ultra thin oil, but if you just want that extra reassurance, especially when they're, you're planning to get them wet or muddy with some sort of liquid element, guys, hey, a little udder butter, definitely apply some to the bearings. You'll notice that the bearings could probably last longer and just have that good final smoothness no matter what you put at it. Shop Mini, what is up? How you doing, brother? Let's go. All right, guys. So let's dive back in. We got our desk right here. We let the oil penetrate. Now we're going to go ahead and show you guys how I apply this ultralight grease coating. Again, guys, I do take the little fine tip applicator, give the can a little shake, and with a nice fine application, you're able to just finally apply it down in there. So if I was to pick one up, you guys can see it completely coated the axle shaft. Now, this is also a curing process, guys. So it's very important that you let the axle shafts cure with this ultralight grease coating. If you guys are looking for a faster cure time and still some of the same properties, you don't want to have debris on catching on it as quickly. Definitely, I recommend checking out that graphite coating. It does set faster, it does cure faster. So normally I would let these kind of dry off for 24 hours or so before taking them out. That way they have a good, nice set cure in them. But for demonstration purposes, those just showing you guys the application methods on how to apply to the axle shafts. Let's see what we got here. Yes, so next, let's see. So we have obviously some brass knuckles here. We'll be treating these later down the road, but I'll go ahead and now's a good time to install the bearings into the knuckles. So I'll go ahead and pop those in. Uh, as you can see, bearings are sliding right in, super smooth. All right, now that we got the bearings in, guys, next thing what I like to do is actually prep the axle housing. So the axle housing for these little guys do have a few more bearings to install. So we'll go ahead and pop those bearings in real quick for you guys. And shout out if you guys do have one of these tiny cars, these little SCX 24s or a micro crawler in general. How often do you guys take them out on the trail for you? So now that we have the bearings installed and we have our axle shafts nice and lubricated, we're going to put these axle shafts to the side, knuckles to the side, give a little quick wipe. What's the cool thing about this is you don't have to go too crazy on keeping everything clean, especially if you have the carbon series. That thing will be easily cleanable down the road. So now we're going to get into the applying the grease to the gears, guys. So again, my preferred use for lubricating the gears right now is the udder butter. The udder butter is an amazing product, guys. Has zero sling to the grease, so that means it's not going to go all over the place after usage during your runtime. You only have to use a little bit of udder butter to properly lubricate your gears, which is another thing that I love the udder butter. A little bit of product is going to go a long way. And you'll probably see in some of these, aftermarket assembled axle housings that you get from, stores out of the box. If you do open up like the diff gears or something like that, you can see most of the time they're heavily packed. And certain cases, guys, the friction that I notice, the resistance when you have heavily packed grease axles can definitely affect the performance of the axle. You could have much less drag if you properly apply the grease correctly. So those are some helpful things that the udder butter really helps with. You can also use a couple other products, guys. Now, when it comes to the micro style, guys, we're not really going too crazy with those tiny little worm gears. So if you guys are looking to experiment with two different products that wouldn't be the udder butter, check out some of these products. Give it a shot. Let me know what you guys think. But you can probably get away with using some of this ultralight grease coating, even on the worm gears, guys. The most important thing when you apply this one will to definitely let it cure for that 24 hours. That way it has that nice protective film and it's still, a nice grease coating or lubricant coating on the worm gears. The other route that you can take instead of the udder butter and the ultralight grease would to be just, start trying out that graphite coating, guys. The graphite coating is so helpful. It's really like a game-changing product when it comes to RC, guys. If you're really looking for that minimum drag, zero friction type of feel, this can definitely work in your favor. So it kind of all depends on how you want that truck to feel. Something, certain gears might have tighter tolerances, maybe might feel some sort of tightness. So applying any of these products is going to really help minimize that overall kind of jerkiness or that tough, tight feelingness in the axles. Let me see. Nick B. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Mini Shop Mini, man. So awesome to have you here as well. M. Camacho, loving all these different CowTech shows. Yes, I mean, it's crazy. I love all the racing aspect of CowRC products. And it's also really cool to see, different guys just like myself diving into different aspects of the RC world, like these little mini crawlers, guys. So plenty of tips. I'll try and share with you down the road. Good tip goes to have a lot of crawlers, scalers, bashers that do the water and hate maintenance. Oh, yeah. So guys, if you just want something real kind of easy and worry free, get that udder butter, man. Slap it around all the parts. All right. Shop Mini in the house. Yes, guys. Make sure you guys chat amongst each other. That's what always drives the engagement, guys. Keeps the chat going for sure. But let's go ahead and dive back into our work spot. So here I have a couple cool tricks I wanted to share with you guys how I apply this udder butter to these tiny little worm gears. One thing I like to do, guys, is one of my favorite tips. So go ahead and grab your tiny little worm gear and actually put it back on the axle shaft. This will give you a nice spinning feel or motion that you can go ahead and apply the the udder butter to. Little brain farts right there, but like I said, guys, when a little bit goes a long way, you really don't need that much, especially when it comes to the SCX24 gears, guys. So here's something how I would apply it, just real slowly and gentle, and then I still actually do kind of clean it off, guys, a little bit. So right here, you can kind of see I did apply it a little bit gunked on, but a little trick that I like to do is I'll take one finger, I will kind of smash the grease inside while spinning it, and then on both sides, I will then do it again. So that way you're kind of cleaning the grease off both sides, and then don't forget to do the back side as well. So there and then you guys could see I did end up wasting a tiny little bit of butter, but right there is a perfectly applied worm gear with the udder butter, guys. Sorry, I don't have like a autofocus or anything, but a little bit is going to go a long way when it comes to applying the butter to the worm gears. Same thing goes for the other side of the worm gear, guys. So what I actually like to do with this side, if you have handy, is I will take a drive shaft. That way I can go ahead and do the same twisting motion with these tiny little worm gears, guys. So same motion, a tiny little application, tiny little spin to pack them in there, guys. And just like that, I mean, the gears are ready, nice and buttered up, guys. It is definitely small. So dealing with these tiny parts, I'll tell you what, you're gonna have Cow RC products lasting a whole lot longer than any other scale, which is one cool thing about these little guys. But yeah, if you're having a hard time holding these parts, I totally understand why. But now that we got everything lubricated, guys, final pieces coming together, guys. So we're going to go ahead and put our worm gears back in, just like so. Pop these bad boys in. Alrighty, there we go. All right, and then what I like to do is they actually have a little diff cover as well. So this diff cover, I'll go ahead and reapply it on there. So now that the diff cover is installed, normally I will do the diff cover screws after this, but just for live purposes and me not just jostling around with tiny little pieces of hardware, I'm going to go ahead and install that drive shaft onto the output shaft of the worm gear. That way, kind of just holds the gears in place and will hold the diff cover in place for me. So let me dive back into the dual screen, guys. So there's a cool different little tricks you guys can do to get this going. It does take some time, especially if it's not your forte going this small with these RC parts. But all these products that you guys see here, they do come in handy when setting up an axle, especially at this size. Let's see. Ring and pinion on everything except SCX24. Gears are super important in those diffs, yes. Yeah, the ring and pinions too, guys. Those are also, you can use that same tip when applying the udder butter to the ring and pinion style. Grease is important, that's right. Adam Ross, I can't wait to see how you're gonna apply that udder butter to those little worm gears coming up on some CowTech episodes. But yeah, they're definitely fun. Yeah, it's like floating little gears. It's pretty cool. But let's dive in now. Let's keep it going. It only takes a few more minutes to assemble this axle housing, guys. So bear with us. So with this type of axle, normally there's bearings right here in this side of the axle housing. But since we are using a high angle axle shaft, high steering angle axle shaft, they are not needed at this scale. So once you kind of insert the axle shaft in there, then we'll go ahead and take our knuckles and put those bad boys on there. That's actually the wrong one. If you guys haven't messed with crawlers or um, these type of solid axle, full-time four-wheel drive axles, definitely pay attention to the orientation that the axle sits, because due to the Ackerman angle that it has, you could put them on reverse. So I'm just going to pop these bad boys on real quick and show you guys some of the final tips that I like to use when prepping this axle and getting it ready for the builds. While we are talking about them, let's see, we pull up a couple comments. So if you run the bearings on the outside, you'll get the binding. Yeah, definitely. Good to know, guys, if you run into any issues, especially with these little scales, guys. Some axles will require you to take out that bearing, especially if you're encountering some binding issues right there. Let's see. Now that we have this popped on, I'm gonna just go ahead and pop on the screws for the diff cover real quick. That way everything is tightened up. Now, if you guys did have metal axles, CowRC also is partnered up with BSI, Bob Smith Industries, guys. So that I would recommend when you apply or when you're reinstalling this hardware, especially to metal on metal. Go ahead and pick up some of that blue IC lock thread lock from BSI that CowRC carries, guys. And that really secures your hardware to the aluminum or metal style bits. So right here we guys can see a couple of the setups right there. Good to go. Going to go ahead and just kind of clean off any excess stuff that I might be touching with my hands. Now, good test for this, guys. Now you can see we have a ton of free range of motion. The axle shafts, no binding happening. Very awesome. And then another cool trick or tip that I like to do is hold it by the drive shafts. And just there you guys can see how drag free, how free flowing the axle is. You can give it a little spin. And with all those CowRC products, guys, you too can have an axle CowRC approved just like this. So there's some awesome products, guys. I'm curious to see if you guys do set up a SCX24 axle similar to this, which type of product for lubricating, say, the axle shafts as well as the gears inside, would you go with? Would you go with the routes that I went with the CowRC Moo Slick Ultralight Grease, or would you try something else, maybe like the graphite coating or Moo Slick or anything like that, silicone protector? You guys let me know. But here we're just installing the steering links right there, guys, and we can see that axle is ready to go, ready to install on a build. Let me go ahead and answer any questions you guys might have regarding the axle setup, guys. If you guys do have any questions, definitely shout it out in the comments below. I'll go ahead and check it out. Shop Mini and the ISO kinetics, you definitely want to run that outer housing bearing though. Yes, definitely. Those axles, man, they're funky for sure. The double jointed axle shafts and everything is just crazy technology nowadays, guys. But yeah, buttery smooth axles really helps out. And not only is it going to be buttery smooth, it's going to be ready for the elements ahead, guys. This is going to be literally a bulletproof type of axle. And there's only a couple more things, maybe one more thing that I do like to do just to finish it off, give it that extra reassurance, knowing that, guys, this thing is going to be clean, it's going to be smooth, it's going to be ready for the build. And I'll show you guys right now. Let's see. I don't know if I showed this, but oh yeah, Adam Ross, I would love to see what your take is on the graphite right there. Especially when it comes to assembling like these crawler axles. Let's see. Tyler does similar, but uses the ultralight on the worm. That's the next experiment that I'm going to go with before the graphite coating, guys. I'll definitely experiment with that ultralight grease on my worm gears. I'll let it cure. And that's something that I never would have thought to do. But knowing that the testing works, guys, that's something that I'm definitely planning to do pretty soon, probably on the next axle build I do. So, guys, coming back one more time to our full screen setup of our work area. Here we have the axle ready to go. It has been properly lubricated from the bearings, the diff gears, as well as the axle shafts. But also, guys, we do want to still have some sort of protection for the steering links, the brass knuckles, as well as the nice housing that is here for us, guys. So what I actually like to do, just to give it that nice finish, that nice voila finish, if you will say, is I reach for the CowRC Moo Slick industrial grade RC silicone protector spray. Now this spray, guys, it's gonna add that dry, dirt repelling film, which is ideal for all the exposed gears. The corrosion, it's gonna repel corrosion, resist corrosion. So this is gonna be perfect for everything that you guys see right here, especially when it comes to, say, like the brass knuckles, guys. When you're putting on some brand new brass knuckles, after a few, you know, packs or a few months out on the trails, they do tend to get a little bit of oxidization and little wear. So if you want to just keep them as clean, as shiny as possible, this will also be a very helpful product to apply. Now, as with all the aerosol products, guys, from CowRC, I did mention earlier, guys, that it is pressure dependent. So you do want to make sure that you apply this silicone spray very precisely and with, you want to be aware how you're applying it. There's a few ways you can apply it, guys. Um, Definitely give it a good shake so that way it activates. You don't have to shake these products as much as the graphite coating, which is separates very easily. That you have to shake that one up real vigorously. But these ones, I always kind of like to shake up the aerosols. But again, guys, this type of nozzle or tip is more of like an aerosol spray, more than more so than the Moo Clean kind of like direct pressure type of tips. So this one, while you don't really need the applicator tips, guys, that you guys see me using on all the other sprays, more so you want to be able to see those layers of mist going down onto the product, and that will assure you that you're getting perfectly applied coats to your product or to whatever you're needing to protect. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how I apply the Moo Clean, the Moo Slick industrial grade silicone protector. So I am not spraying it super hard. I'm kind of like spray painting little paint coats. So just very light coats, guys, especially when it comes to the micro applications. Now, it's important that you guys apply it in coats if you are feeling that you maybe not have applied or got everywhere that you wanted to get. But you guys can see there already is a nice shine to this axle housing, even though the autofocus does not really focus up close as much. But you don't want to look for anything when you're looking at the product when it's applied. You don't want to see any drips coming down. You don't want to see any like puddling up. You just want to see that light mist applied, and then you'll be able to tell easily once it's applied that you'll see that shine go on it. So all you got to simply do is just, at nighttime or whenever you're closing up shop, you put the axle away. You can go ahead and come back right away in the morning or 24 hours, guys, and you'll notice that these axle housings, everything's nice and sealed, will be easier to maintain and to keep clean in the long run, especially if you guys encounter a lot of dirt or dusty situations on the trails. So that's how I set up, guys, an axle for these small scale. It does take a little while, just as long as the big ones. They definitely take time to set up, but you guys can see, after everything's all set up, a little bit of smooth spinning, free, friction free, drag free applications like these things will be smooth as so long as all the other parts are working properly, right? You want to make sure that the transmission is set up smoothly. You want to make sure that the drive lines are not too tight, phased correctly, and all that good stuff, guys. So shout out any tips that you might have setting up your SCX24 or other small scale axles. And we'll be diving in, guys, not only into other small scale parts, but we will be getting a little series going on where, who knows, guys, maybe it'll be one for the chats to decide. But you let me know. Should we keep going on with like small scale type of crawler build to show you guys, all the types of ways that we can implement CowRC products in, say, like a small scale, awesome little cool crawler that anyone can pick up, a little RTR? Or should we dive into maybe something even crazier, still small scale, but hey, maybe a new associated little mini race project? You guys let me know. I'm actually going to think about that as well, just because there's so many things that come out uh, every week, it seems like, especially with small scale stuff, guys, that there's just so many cool things to think of. I don't know really what to build for you guys or show off, but hey, we got plenty of crawler stuff. If that's what you guys like, we can definitely do that. Kurt's RCs, coming back to the comments, the graphite would be good for the 10th scale crawler, so you don't go. Also, you don't go fast enough to get the gears hot. We just need a little coat to coat them a little more often. Man, Kurt, yeah, you guys got me all enticed. I feel like I want to try one build with all graphite coating applications on worm gears, drive shafts, axle shafts, transmission gears, see how that works out too. So we'll be experimenting with that graphite pretty soon as well. Would be interesting to see some non-aerosol smaller options for keeping in my race bag or backpack at the crawl course. That would be pretty cool, right? I think when it comes to maybe like keeping things clean on the crawl course, non-aerosol, if that's what you're asking, not too sure, but one thing that I would keep in my backpack, guys, even if I'm at the crawler course, the cow snot, guys. The cow RC cow snot, the cow cleaning snot, guys. This is one of my favorite products. You can literally keep your trucks nice and clean, dust free after the trails. Just a little piece of this. Go ahead and roll it all around into those crevices, guys. And man, the trucks stay clean. They're perfect. Little cool product. Tape your cans to a sawzall and it'll shake for you. Hey, I've done that a couple of times. Definitely a good tip, but I think I'm strong enough to handle a few shakes. Yeah, it's funny. Yes. Yeah, let us know if you guys did the sawzall method before. I know sometimes when it comes to paint jobs, hey man, I'm looking for that method myself. RCX, thank you, man. I appreciate all the support you guys are tuning in. We have a few more minutes left in the show, guys. So I just want to make sure you guys, if I missed any questions for you guys, to shout it out. And as well, I do have one more thing I wanted to show you. Trying to look for it. Oh yeah, I do. Let's see. I'd still be trying to put the diff screws in. Yeah. So within that like 40-minute period, we do have a little bit of a practice dealing with those tiny screws, man. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the CowRC Carbon Series mat, having the screw catcher mats to keep all the magnetic hardware in place, guys, I'd probably be the same as you, just fighting for my life with these little parts. Adam Ross, yes, man. We're looking forward to seeing your SCX24 build as well, guys. So, any tips and tricks that you guys learned from this show? Maybe shout out in the comments what was your favorite little tip and trick that you guys saw. More so about the size of containers. That's a cool idea, Shop Mini. Maybe like some little sample aerosol sprays or just travel friendly, super tiny little amounts. That'd be pretty cool for sure. The sample sizes come in clutch. See, there you go. Yeah, maybe that'll be an option down the road. Who knows? So CowRC, one thing about CowRC, guys, is what I always really love and appreciate. He does take the time to listen to any feedback, whether might be positive, negative, any feedback in general, guys. And if it's something that's suitable for CowRC, they'll most likely be helping you guys out with stuff like that. And just like how people suggest they're more looking for something a little bit more drag free, slick free. Hey, he listened. He tested, and out came another product, guys. So there's plenty of products to be diving innovated into the RC industry, guys. So if you have some suggestions for Cow RC you guys want to see, shout it out in the comments for sure. The sample pack. That would be sick. I need that little sample pack just to have, you know, give somebody even. But yeah, guys, it's been a pretty cool show. Looks like we got, a few minutes left. So before I go, I just want to share with you guys. Uh, Here is just a little bonus credit, guys. But here is a truck that I've been working on, a little SCX-24 performance hardliner, if you will. But I actually set this up. You guys can see I have some dirty tires. But everything, guys, has been built and set up and driven hard using CowRC products. So when I say this literally came off of the trails yesterday, but you can see how clean, how impeccable, how still everything is just clean, dust free, guys. That just goes to show that's some of the results that CowRC products can show or can provide you guys, especially, some people don't always have time to keep their trucks clean and maintenance, working on maintenance. So CowRC, guys, one of the products, pretty much all these lineups of their products, guys, just gonna make everything easier for you. So if you're looking to learn a little bit more tips on keeping your trucks clean or little tips and tricks, especially on the smaller scale, guys, we'll be back in 2 weeks to share with you guys, you know, what else we're gonna dive into. And stay tuned, guys. Maybe let me know in the comments when this on YouTube or Facebook. What do you guys want to see during the stream? Do you guys want to see some more crawler content, or should we dive into just a whole new small scale little project for you guys? You guys will be the great judge of that. I'll put in some thought into that as well. But yes, guys, thank you so much for joining. We're gonna sign off right now. So, RC Steve, feel free to give me a shout out. Check me out as well on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, guys, if you want to see a whole bunch of crazy little micro crawler content. And as well, guys, if you do need any custom suspension links for your micro scale platforms, feel free to send me a message and we can get you those awesome custom suspension links as well. But yeah, it's been an awesome hour with you guys. I'm signing off, and you guys have a great rest of your evening. Have a great week, rest of your head, and then catch you guys next weekend, not with me, but with Adam and Tyler with the next CowTech Live. That's right, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you later. Peace.